Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John, this is Menu True Nerd, and welcome to our Valentine's Day special Sakura Swim Club. The moving, emotionally affecting tale of a star-crossed romance between a man and two women who he must presumably choose between, though actually thinking about it, he possibly can just end up sleeping with both of them, probably. Morning, says the game quite cheerfully. Excellent. Not my favourite time of day. No, probably not. I would believe that as well. The morning is when you're not waking up to do anything. Why do I get the... Okay, I'm going to put a prediction here. I'm going to use my psychic powers to suggest... Because I swear that's exactly the same background as was in bloody Fading Hearts when I did Fading Hearts. It's bloody always a male student who's just moved to a new town and lives on his own, normally because conveniently his parents have died off screen, but he's not in any way traumatised by it. It just means he's got a whole amount of money and independence, which is convenient for the story. And yeah, he's just moved to a new town, and he's just about to start a new school, and he's worried about starting a new school, and then he'll meet the girls. If that's what actually happens, we're just skipping to that, alright? Here we are. If I had to guess, I've been in a different school each semester for practically all of school. My goodness, do you move around a lot? At first, it was due to my parents moving around so much. Oh, okay, cross your fingers. But now they keep sending me to different places in the hopes there's one that will spark the family Ooh, alright, that's a bit different. They always talk about how I'm maybe just a bit slower than the rest of the family. And my first choice, do I hurry to school or take my time? I'm going to hurry to school. Oh my goodness, it's my first day at a new bloody school. These things always start out the same way. Standing before yet another school my parents have specifically chosen for me. The same entrance, the same oh, it's the same school? It takes me a few minutes to find my classroom. It's always a nervous wait before I enter class. You would think that after doing it so many times it would be easier. I still don't know who's going to be waiting for me. Yes, that's how doors work, you lunatic. The teacher gestures to me, ushering me into the room. All of their eyes are focused on me. I've just walked into a ghost school. Okay, so I'm Kaede? I'm going to say Kaede. I'm going to say his name's Kaede and we're going to go for that. I apologise if that's wrong. Oh, my teacher's calling me out on my BS. You're barely paying attention in class at all, says my completely unseen teacher. I know it's only your first day, but you really should take this seriously. I know, I'll do better next time. I won't. This guy's got a bad mental attitude, that's his problem. Oh, I know you're a troubled young man, says the teacher. Jumping from school to school, barely passing any of your subjects, barely paying attention at all. Your parents have kept me well informed about your problems. Nice to know they've made arrangements here too. I can't force you to learn, but please, you have a chance here to better yourself, just like everyone else. Being good at something can only be a good thing, can't it? I guess so, I say. Why did the horrible feeling like... This game feels like it's setting itself up for Kaede to prove himself by, you know, knuckling down, studying hard, living up to the family legacy, making his parents proud by academically excelling. But from the game's title, I'm guessing he's actually just going to go and hang out with girls at a swim club, which is something to be good at, but in some ways I feel won't necessarily help him at life. And indeed, why don't you join a club, suggests the teacher. And there's plenty of them in school. I'm sure there's one which would suit. I'm gonna guess we're gonna go for the swim club, so we might just skip forward to that. Oh, never mind swimming, he says. Swimming? No. We're interested in swimming. Swimming's the only thing that we actually know this game's actually got in it. Hang on, what about swimming? They have a rather infamous reputation. You shouldn't go there. Oh, now I definitely want to. Infamous reputation? Anyway, I'm sure you'll find something that will catch your interest. Well, now that you've said, oh, they've got an infamous reputation, you shouldn't go there, but I'm not going to explain. Of course I'm going there. One nice thing about this school is the lack of room. You just heard that there was a swim club that was mysteriously infamous for reasons that no one will explain. You've learnt one thing about this school and it was a rumour. As I idly muse to myself, I smack into something. The impact is enough to make me fall over. Dazed, I slowly look around me. I'm too dizzy to pick myself up. You just fell over, for goodness sake, man. Just get up. What did I run into? Is it going to be a girl by any chance? Oh, bloody cop! Whew, okay! This has gone from 0 to 11 pretty quickly. So I'm not really sure what YouTube's exact position is on this sort of thing. The girl is wearing pants, by the way. That's what the abundance of stripes reference there is. But there are also kind of like the vague hints of lady creases there. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover up the lady creases with hedgehogs. And this game we're gonna learn some facts about hedgehogs, because this is going to be a clean, lovely adult. No, not adult. The opposite. Well, you know what I mean. Of Sakura Swim Club. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be all about hedgehogs. Did you know that the collective noun for a group of hedgehogs is a prickle? How adorable is that? They're called a prickle. Anyway, he sees the abundant stripes that are on her relatively small. She could do with some slightly more covering panties there. And as my vision clears, I finally realise what has happened. A black-haired girl with pale blue eyes stares back at me. Her miniskirt completely fails to hide her hedgehog. Well, what are you doing? Look where you're going, stupid. Oh, sorry. She angrily scolds me, seemingly unaware of what's exposed. Yes, indeed. And what's exposed has about 5,000 prickles, and they get replaced once every year. A hedgehog's prickle only actually stays for about a year. Then it sheds it, and then it grows some new ones. Listen to me, you have a problem, such as the fact that hedgehog spines are actually quite sharp. That's seriously not a good place for them. She picks herself up and runs down the hall. You better not tell anyone what happened. For a moment, I just sit there, slowly taking in what happened. Kaede, you're a bit slow. Nothing too much happened, really. You ran into someone, you both fell over, and you just happened to see up her skirt. So my lessons dragged on for the rest of the afternoon. The only thing I could be bothered doing is waiting for the bell to ring. Kaede, you're a terrible, terrible person. Pay attention in school. Stay in school, kids. Pay attention to your teachers. But there's still some clubs I haven't had a look at yet. As I'm about to leave, he turns to me again. Kaede, I'd wanted to talk to you again. Yes, sir. How was your first day? Pretty much what I expected it to be. And what did you expect it to be? Do you really want to know? My response makes him frown. I see. He turns back towards his desk, gathering his things. Well then, did you check out the clubs? A few of them. None of them. No, I didn't. Or at least if I did it completely off camera. I'll keep looking, but I don't know if I'll find one I like. He readjusts his glasses awkwardly. Good. Keep looking. I'm sure you'll find somewhere to spend your time. What about the swimming club? He just shakes his head. It wouldn't be worth your time. And why not? I told you before, it has an infamous reputation among the students. Yes, which makes it much more appealing unless you explain why it's actually a bad thing. He just shrugs. Well, you can if you wish to, but I do not know if it will be the club that suits you. Despite myself, I really want to know more about the swimming club. Where can I find the school's pool? He lets out a defeated, weary sigh, almost as if he couldn't see coming that a teacher repeatedly telling you, don't do this, infamous reputation, definitely shouldn't do that, would obviously make me do it. What is the truth behind this swimming club? I guess that's something I can investigate right now. Oh my goodness, there's mystery to this game. There's a mystery subplot. What happened in the history of the swimming club? Here I am, standing before the entrance to the swimming pool. It took me way longer to find than I expected. The swimming club is supposedly meeting right now. After all the discouragement I've received, I feel like I need to know what the deal with this club is. The distinct smell of chlorine hits me as I pass through the doors. Indeed, that's almost why I actually just kind of picked this particular game, by the way, because there's a whole bunch of Sakura games, and all of them slightly as ridiculous as the others. But this one stood out to me, because if there's one thing in the world that I think isn't romantic... Well, actually, there's two things in the world I think particularly are not romantic. The first is the concept of the Mile High Club, because the idea of trying to have sex with someone in an aeroplane toilet strikes me as the most ludicrously undesirable thing imaginable. Those things are tiny and cramped and poorly lit, incredibly small, and they are just basically small, compact chemical toilets. And when people come in and out of them, everyone's going to see it, and they do generally very often have queues outside them, so there's no way that you could actually, quietly sneak in or out. It's just a dreadful idea. But the second distinctly unsexy thing in the world struck me as a school swimming pool. Through the combination of that lovely smell of chlorine, plus the fact that you just know you're in a massive body of water that children have been peeing in, no matter how many chemicals have been pumped in to try and counteract that fact, it's one of the least sexy things I could possibly imagine, so it's a fascinating place to try and set a dating game. But okay, the distinct smell of chlorine does indeed hit me as I pass through the doors. And when was the last time I smelled that? I don't think I've been to a proper swimming pool in a very long time. Well, why did you even ask about the swimming club in the first place then? I'm fairly impressed to say the least. This building is massive. I'll admit, the glass roof is very, very nice. I've never seen a school pool with a massive glass roof. That's cool. A full-length Olympic swimming pool spreads out before me. As I look around, I notice there's no one else here. The only sound which echoes through the building is the gradual lapping of the water against the pool's edges. Funny, from what I gathered, the swimming club was supposed to be meeting today. So where are they? Hello? Is anyone here? Only silence in response. I do not think there's a single soul here. Maybe practice isn't on today, but it said that practice was on I love the redundant dialogue in these things, it's always wonderful. I don't know. If there's no one in the swimming club, then obviously I can't join. Or you could start a swimming club. You get in that pool and you just start swimming until someone expels you, Kaede. I believe in you. Hello? Didn't I used to love swimming? I don't really remember. How do you not remember? Bloody hell. Possibly is like the slight problem that was hinted at earlier in this game where this guy's parents were worried about him. Is the problem he's got some sort of like terrible memory disorder? Because he appears to not be sure whether he likes swimming or not. But more importantly, why is there no one here? Maybe that's what's infamous about the club, what, that it doesn't exist. The infamous non-existent swimming club. Just as I'm about to leave, I hear a loud splash come from behind me. Oh, good. Wait, what? Okay, well wait, did we even get that girl's name? No, we didn't, and the other one's got red eyes, which isn't, I think, a type of eye colour that can exist unless she's an albino, but I guess she could be. Though, I'm more concerned about the fact that, just considering this here, like, okay, these boobs here are ridiculous. Well, okay, this boob's ridiculous, but it's okay anatomically. But these three, where's the nipple gone? Like, there should be nipples somewhere, like, you know, somewhere around these sorts of... There's blimey, okay, This guy, also, wait, is this girl wearing a collar? Sorry, would you believe I was temporarily not looking at her neck, there for a minute. But one of these girls appears to be wearing a collar to go swimming, which is interesting. Alright, what's actually going on? You know what? No. Panorama hedgehog shot, go. Did you know, by the way, that hedgehogs are colloquially referred to in Britain as the gardener's friend? Because large numbers of the things that they actually try and eat, like slugs, for example, among many other sorts of small insects, are generally considered pests in the garden. So having a hedgehog in your garden is a very, very good thing, because generally they'll just eat the things that would otherwise destroy your plants. So that's nice to know, isn't it? And one of them is the black-haired girl from before. Well done, you're a bit slow to catch on there, Kaede. And they're wearing swimsuits. But those swimsuits are practically shredded. Indeed, that is true. You can see at the back there. Maybe this is what's infamous about the swim club. It's so underfunded, they can't actually afford swimsuits that don't just fall the hell apart. The straps are torn too, meaning that it can't stay up on its own. Both of them are desperately trying to hold their swimsuits together. Not that it's helping, it's revealing plenty despite their efforts, apart from nipples, which these girls mysteriously just don't have. These are the two terrors my teacher told you about. Your teacher didn't tell you anything about two... How can you mess up the continuity in this game? How? Your teacher didn't mention anything about two terrors whatsoever. As they argue, they seem to care less and less about holding their swimsuits together. More and more pale skin is revealed as each moment passes. I'm not sure what exactly I should do at the moment. Well, you should clearly either make your presence known or quietly leave before they see you. That's incredibly obvious. Do one of those two things. Imagine how embarrassing it would be if someone was... How could she possibly have got that far into the sentence without seeing the only other person in a big open room? Her pale blue eyes shift towards where I'm standing. Oh no. I think I've been found. They try even harder to cover themselves. It's not really helping though. If anything, their panic is causing their swimsuits to fall apart even quicker. Oh dear. Right. So, yeah. I mean, I was expecting broadly this from this game, but this is on the nose even by my expectations. Hey, did you know that hedgehog litters could be anything between 1 and 11 hedgehogs? They can actually be up to 11, but as small as 1. Quite an unusually high range. I slowly back out of the building, their eyes fixed on me the entire time. Sometime later, the pair returned from the change room. What, I decided to stick around to chat to them after that? To ask if I could join their terrifying ripped swimsuit swim club? I decided to wait outside for them for some baffling reason. Their faces are still red. You're still here? This is true. I clearly shouldn't be in the slightest. Her face turns grim as she looks closer at me. She must have not recognised me while she was flustered before. Oh no, not you again. What? She didn't recognise it was the same person from the corridor preview? Oh, fine, whatever. Oh, not him again. This is the guy who... She can't bring herself to finish saying it. You're that transfer student, aren't you? Kaede, right? Yeah, and you two are? How can you be so calm at a time like this, Hiromi? Hiromi? So that's her name. Okay, white-haired one is Hiromi. He said he wouldn't tell anyone. I'm sure he would keep his word, Miko. Okay, the black-haired one is Miko. Lovely. Listen, since you've caused so much trouble, you should join the swimming club. That doesn't even follow. I think this plot is just making stuff up as it goes along to try and get me in the same club as these girls. Well, this is a strange turn of events. Certainly is a strange turn of events. Lovely. First she was mad at me, now she's asking me to join her club. We really need new members. If we don't, they're going to close our club. Both of them gaze at me. The weight of their stare is heavy. I do not think I can say no. Which is good, because the game hasn't just given me an option, so it's telling the truth. I literally cannot. Before I do, could I ask something? Okay. Both of them seem to freeze up, anticipating something. I heard from someone that you aren't welcoming of new men. No, you didn't! That's not what you were told. You were just told the place had an infamous reputation. The teacher has at no point said anything about not being welcoming of new members. So why are you inviting me so readily? Please, ignore those rumours. A deep disappointed frown forms on her face. If we weren't, why would we invite you in the first place? Don't worry about it. I'll join. It's not that I'm doing this out of guilt or obligation, though. All the other clubs, let's just say that something feels exciting about this. I wonder what the teenage boy could feel excited about this here swim club. Maybe it's the fact that there's no badgers here, because did you know that actually the main predator of the hedgehog is actually the badger, to such an extent that when hedgehogs are rescued and then re-released into the wild, the people that rescue them actually specifically avoid areas known to actually have badger warrens in them. Fascinating, isn't it? I'm just warning you, I haven't been swimming in years. Oh, don't worry about that. We'll both train you. She seems fairly confident about that. Miko doesn't seem like it. We will? I'm not a very good teacher. Miko nervously shifts on the spot. Are you sure we should really teach him? Come on, Miko. I know you're a good swimmer. Just show him how to do it. I'm not as good as you, though. I quickly glance at my watch and realise that it's getting late. Sorry to cut you off, but I really need to get home. Oh, okay. Will we see you tomorrow, right? She looks at me with hopeful eyes. Of course you will. The sun is setting by the time I make it back home, so what's my home life like? This isn't exactly how I was expecting my first day to be. I thought it was going to be the same old and boring beginning. Introduce yourself, join a club, make friends, do study. But it's gone far more differently than I would have thought. I've already made 2 new friends. I wouldn't call them friends. One of them clearly bloody despises you, and the other one just wants you to join their club to make up numbers, and they're going to teach me how to swim. Do I really want to become a swimmer? Or am I maybe just more interested in boobs? The big philosophical question for teenage boys. A distinct sound echoes through the apartment, cutting through my idle thoughts. I can hear the phone ringing. I already know who it is, but I don't want to answer the phone. If I ignore it though, it's going to keep ringing. They will presume something happened if I didn't answer. That'll be my parents wanting to know about my first day. Slowly I pick up the phone. They'll be thrilled to know that I didn't pay attention in class, my teacher's already put me on notice, and I've joined a swim club that everyone's told me has an infamous reputation, and my teacher specifically said I shouldn't join. They're going to be thrilled about how my first day went. And my father seems down on the swimming club, so no other clubs interested me? Well, I don't know what the other clubs are. Yeah, let's find out why he's trying to discourage me from joining the swimming club. Why are you not keen on this, Dad? Really, it's nothing. If you want to swim, then swim. Does he know about the infamous reputation himself? Or maybe he had some sort of terrible traumatic experience swimming previously? I don't think he's telling me the whole truth behind that. Oh my goodness, there's another mystery subplot. Why is the club infamous? Why is my father so down on swimming? So many mysteries. So the following morning, as I reach the front gate of the school, I can't help but notice someone standing at the gate. And as there's only 2 characters in this entire game that actually have models, I'm gonna guess it's one of them. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be one of them. Oh, fancy seeing you here, Kaede. So, I heard a bit about you through rumours. Oh no, the rumour school is rumory again. Are you really the son of who I think you are? Oh no, someone's already worked out who I am. Yeah, it's kind of implied that like my dad's some sort of famous, well-known Japanese person, probably either businessman or politician, it's not stated yet. Yes, what of it? You're not really what I would have expected. What were you expecting exactly? Everyone talks about your father as being larger than life, an extremely charismatic and talented man. You're not quite, from what I've seen so far. Oh, charming. On windy days, I always have what? Oh, bloody hell. Did you know that there actually aren't any native wild hedgehogs in the entirety of the United States of America? And they're only actually found in Europe, Africa, and Asia. In America they exist, but only in the form of pets. They also can't be found in Australia, but that's always been my opinion that the only reason they're not in Australia is because they were clever enough to spot the Australian wildlife is just bloody vicious, and they're probably best just keeping away from all the drop bears and similar. Yes, indeed, no wild hedgehogs in America. Very, very sad. You have to make do with porcupines, who are not as cute. I'm not sure there's really much interesting in terms of plot here. Basically, wind has just blown her skirt up. Ah, my teacher was interested in the fact that I went to the swimming club, and indeed I did. And I'm presuming you joined, and indeed, is that a problem? You probably already have a good picture of the circumstances around the swimming club. There was an incident that happened, and everyone has avoided it since. Ooh, let's hear the truth of the terrible mystery behind the swimming club. And why hasn't anyone told me what happened? Go on, tell me the truth, tell me the truth. Why hasn't anyone told me what happened, teacher? No one wants to talk about tragic circumstance. Oh my goodness. So what happened is bad. That's all I've managed to get from. Just ask him. Ask him what happened. It's best to show some sensitivity. Undoubtedly, they would hate to hear the students talking about it behind their backs. Troubled, my teacher walks over to his desk and takes a seat. I do not understand why you want to know so badly. I don't understand why you're just not telling me. Like, if there's been some sort of tragedy, presumably a student drowned, like, it's sad, but just tell me. Some things are better left forgotten. No, they're not. The girl who spread those rumours about them is long gone. Okay, this is interesting. Yet the rumours themselves linger. So there was a tragedy, and then a girl spread a rumour about the swim club. Interesting. So at the swim club, I'm still waiting for Hiromi and Miko to show up. I just wonder how hard this training is going to be. They insisted I had to be prepared to fully commit to this. I guess we'll have to wait and see. A single figure steps out of the changing rooms. Hiromi's busy. It's me who's going to be training you today. Okay, so we've got Miko today, and I think we are good to not have to learn anything about hedgehogs right now. That is, yeah, pretty decent. Her hair is probably not a good idea for swimming. How is this girl good at swimming? She's got ridiculously long hair that's going to get very heavy, because hair in water gets very, very heavy. And she's wearing a bow. She's actually wearing a big ribbon in her hair when she's about to go swimming. I think this game hasn't put that much thought into actually these characters being drawn in such a way as would be consistent with them being in a swimming club. So make sure you listen, says Miko, who's still grumpy. I won't repeat myself, and I expect you to pay attention to all of my instructions. She's so bossy when she wants to be. Yeah, I don't like her. I want to date the other one, Hiromi. Another important thing. Don't think about doing anything perverted. I mean, there was no indication I was about to, but it's probably just a good thing to say in general when you're in high school. It's weird that you're placing so much faith in me. You haven't even seen me swim yet. I'm sure you're a good swimmer. Don't make presumptions like that. Why is she getting awkward? She's part of the bloody swim club. I'm sorry I'm assuming you're good at swimming when you're in swim club. Anyway, so the first thing you should learn about is breathing. After that, we can begin to work on your technique. She consults me through all the basics. Not sure that's an English sentence, but okay. Bit by bit, it starts to come back to me. She gestures towards the diving platform. Oh, diving? That's a bit advanced. I'm not a bad swimmer, but I've never been able to dive. I'm just terrible at it. I have to start in the water, otherwise it's just a disaster. I pull myself out of the pool and make my way towards it. There's a sense of anticipation in the air as I climb on top of the platform. Miko looks at me expectantly. Come on already, the pool is waiting for you. My hands cut through the surface of the water, allowing me to pass through it. The water, mysteriously, is incredibly dark, even though it's a swimming pool. Like, you know, did the person who did this artwork, has that person ever been in a swimming pool before? Like, they're shallow and clearly lit, and you can very clearly see the bottom clearly lit up. This swimming pool is about as deep as an ocean trench. Overarm was how I used to swim, so I guess I'll try it this time too. I kick my legs and put in as much effort as I can. It's been a long time since I've used these muscles. My laps are slow. I guess that was to be expected though. It's been a long time since I've done any real exercise too. I'm barely on my second lap and I can feel my muscles screaming at me to stop. Has it really been this long since I went swimming? Yeah, my theory that this guy just has some sort of terrifying memory disorder continues. I actually like it. If that's not unusual for me, then I don't know what is. Kaede, his entire character seems to be, he's just a bloke who doesn't like anything. He's just a miserable chap who hates everything and is completely apathetic towards everything in his life. He's such a terrible person. I hate him. Despite how tired I feel, I don't want to stop. Keep going, take a steadier pace. Alright, take a steadier pace, that's sensible. You don't want to end up with, in trouble, potentially. Steady pace. I'd better go at a steadier pace. Be better if I don't overexert myself. I'm incredibly slow by the end of it, but I managed to do 3 laps before I drag myself out of the pool. Miko's not going to be... Oh. You need to be more careful, says Miko. Don't push yourself too... I didn't! I specifically chose the don't push yourself too hard option. If you get tired while you're in the middle of a lap... Well, we both know what would happen. I'm guessing the feeling that, the tragedy that's befallen the swim club is somebody drowned from pushing themselves too hard. Because, to be honest, there's only so many other tragedies that can occur in swim club. And she thinks I'm not bad for a beginner. Nice. Now, what would help you other than practice? Maybe you could learn something from observing me. Why don't you watch me swim a lap or two? Observing you, you say? Oh, she's having one of those backstroke orgasms. Fine. One of those things. That's obviously a thing that happens in swimming. She's so not well cut out for swimming. The amount of drag she must be getting off her hair and her boobs is ridiculous. It's just... And by the way, if this game doesn't make a breaststroke joke at some point, I give up, because that's just an open bloody goal. Also, apparently she did a dive into the pool and then went into the backstroke, which struck me as a thing that I'm not sure how you would do. How would you dive into a backstroke? But alright, game, let's just skip past the pointless pervy bit. The lesson continues on for a while. Despite how hard it is, I have so much fun that I lose track of time. Hiromi eventually turns up. She didn't bother to get changed. Sorry about that. I had to do something quickly. Oh dear, there's an infamous reputation from tragic circumstances around the swim club, and Hiromi had to do something mysterious she's not willing to talk about off camera. I think she was just burying more bodies. I would love it if the twist of this game was these girls just lure people into the swim club and then they all mysteriously die. This is just a pair of murderers. This whole thing's just a murderer honey trap. That would be beautiful. So you didn't join football. You said you were looking at clubs. Why wouldn't you have joined something you're familiar with? I have my reasons. Oh, I've got a tragic football backstory as well. My father has a tragic swimming story. I've got a tragic football story. These girls have been murdering people. And hedgehogs caused significant damage to the ecosystem in New Zealand when they were introduced there. Blimey, it's just tragedy and mystery all round. So let's not worry about me. Unless I start drowning or something. That isn't something you should joke about. Yes, we know someone drowned in your pool. Before I knew it, several days passed by and it was time for swimming practice again. The lessons barely sunk into my head. Kaede, stop being a numpty. For whatever reason, I find myself thinking about what my second lesson with the swimming club will be like. I'm going to be honest, these girls are a terrible influence. I'm clearly completely distracted and not paying attention to any of my lessons because I just keep thinking about the swim club where I get to hang out with the girls in the swimsuits. This is clearly just appalling for my academic career. So back at the swimming pool again, it seems like I'm the first one to turn up for practice. Wait, no, I can hear someone in the changing rooms. Hiromi emerges. Indeed, unsurprisingly, of course, our first kind of day was primarily with Miko, and this time it's going to be primarily with Hiromi, understandably. And again, I don't think we need a hedgehog on this occasion. That's probably absolutely fine. I mean, ridiculous and unrealistic, and she's wearing a collar again around a neck that is ridiculously too thin. Like, if you consider it, just looking at her neck, you could fit her neck about 3 times inside each boob. So I'm going to suggest that her proportions are not quite right. You're here a lot earlier than I expected. What can I say? I'm keen for swimming. But something isn't right. I look around for a moment and realise what the problem is. There's no water in this pool. Where's Mako? She couldn't make it today. She had something else to deal with. Oh, burying the bodies again. Also, from this particular drawn angle, Hiromi's left boob, that's her left, not our left, Hiromi's left boob seems to be significantly larger than her right, but alright. And did you know that hedgehogs, when they hibernate over winter, their actual body temperature drops to about 2 degrees centigrade, and when they wake up again it returns to their normal, which is closer to 30 to 32 degrees centigrade. Fascinating, wouldn't you say? Though after a while, Mako appears. And long after the lesson is done. Oh, swimming club is over. How did Kaede do? He's getting better. We'll still have to see if he can become a swimmer. I appreciate the confidence boost. You're welcome. Swimming club's over for today though. Hiromi heads over to the changing rooms. Keep it up, Kaede. Don't worry, I will. And as the weeks pass along, I continue to completely ignore my academic schoolwork in favour of looking forward to swimming practice instead. Swimming practice in the afternoon, but what should I do in the meantime? Pay attention in class, you lunatic! Oh, but Hiromi stopped me before I can go to the library and try and actually learn something. Kaede, I was looking for you. You were? Why? I just wanted to talk to you about something. She grabs me by the hand and drags me off somewhere. People start looking at us as we pass by. Is that Hiromi? Who is that she's with? Some poor guy she's sunk her claws into. I wonder if she plans to do to him what she did to her. Yep, I'm going to be drowned. The whispers around us don't seem to bother Hiromi though. I can't help but feel embarrassed to be led like this. We eventually stop in a small hallway with no one else around. I just wanted to let you know something private. Hiromi seems dead serious at the moment. What could she want to tell me? Please don't mention drowning around Mako again. Don't mention drowning? Oh, you're so bloody slow on the uptake, Kaede. Oh, did something happen to her? Yes, she made me swear I wouldn't tell anyone. All I want to do is let you know that you shouldn't mention it. At all. She sheepishly plays with her hair. I just felt you should know. Don't worry, I get it. You killed someone in the pool. So back to swimming practice, and it's Mako again. Hey there. Hello, Mako. By any chance you're going to get me to do laps, and then by the end of it slightly reveal something about the mystery of what happened to Swimming Club? Except for some reason, Mako is not paying attention to my technique and practice today, because her swimsuit doesn't feel right. Okay. What exactly is wrong, Mako? She immediately takes off towards the changing rooms. I know I shouldn't follow her. No, you shouldn't go into the girls' changing room when she's gone to change her swimming costume. There's no but in this sentence, you lunatic. Did you know that one of the biggest problems with introducing a hedgehog into an area is that once you've done it, you're kind of stuck with them, because hedgehogs are so cute that any attempt to cull them, if it turns out they have a negative effect on the local ecosystem, is met with outrage from animal charities and individuals, because hedgehogs just seem so darn cute. Happened in the Scottish Islands. They introduced hedgehogs there. They turned out to be deeply problematic, because hedgehogs' bird eggs is one of the things that they'll forage off. They're pretty much omnivorous. And as a result, there was an attempt to cull them, but there was a huge international outcry, because hedgehogs are just so darn cute, so they kind of got stuck with them. Fascinating, isn't it? Don't worry, you're not missing anything. She's just trying to make her wobbly boob flesh fit inside the swimsuit. And after we finish practicing, we head out of school to find Hiromi waiting for us. Sorry, I took a bit longer than usual with burying the corpses today. Don't worry about it. At least we can walk home together. Walk home with him? Come on, it's fine. We won't even go past where we bury the bodies. Mako reluctantly agrees. It's not something that's occurred to me, but I've already spent a few weeks with these two. My friendship with these two, I think it's the longest I've had in years. Despite everything, I feel kind of close to them. Possibly it's the fact that I keep accidentally seeing them naked. Just as I'm about to leave, they stop at the gate for some reason. I look back, wondering what the problem is. What's the matter? Say, Kaede, could we visit your place tomorrow? Oh, hello. Yes, here we are. This is going places now. I'm a bit taken aback by the idea. My place? Why my place? We're just curious. We definitely don't intend to add you to our list of victims. Why do you need to know more about me? We just want to get to know you. After all, you are our friend, right? Oh, this is such a honey trap. This is what someone needs to make. Someone needs to make a dating sim that turns into a horror game, because quite frankly, the amount in games like this that the other characters just latch onto you and fall in love with you and, you know, trust you with secret information almost immediately is just ridiculous. And it's just ever so slightly creepy. And they are coming over today. So I've got to choose between video games and tarot cards. I'm going to go for tarot cards, because if they're not into video games, that might be a bit weird. But tarot cards, even if they're not into it, it's like an amusing novelty and a fun talking point. Would the tarot cards be entertaining enough for them? I don't know. They probably wouldn't care about an old dusty games console either. Let's try it. I don't have anything else in my apartment we could do for fun. Good afternoon, Kaede. Hello. It's nice to see you both too. Come on in. When I enter the apartment, I find there's barely enough room for all of us to fit. I never really intended to have guests over. Maybe I should have moved into a slightly larger apartment. Oh, I'm sorry. The apartment that your parents are paying for so they can send you from school to school in the hope that you'll find one that suits you. Is the apartment they're paying for just slightly too small for you to have multiple girls over simultaneously? Oh, I'm so sorry, Kaede. Your life is so hard. What's this, Kaede? It's a tarot deck. A tarot deck? What is something like that meant to be used for? You can use it for all kinds of things. You can look in someone's past, their present, their future too. Why do we get the feeling that this tarot card reading that Hiromi's going to do for me is going to reveal a terrible dark secret from my past? The Fool. What does that mean? The Fool represents infinite possibilities, new beginnings. It's basically someone at the start of life's journey. She pulls another card cautiously, laying it next to the Fool. The Magician, representing potential and harnessing one's talents. Oh my goodness, it's almost as if this entire deck of cards is telling me to join the swim club in order to unleash my potential. And the final card is the Hierophant, which is actually what happens if you crossbreed an elephant and a hedgehog, I think, because I don't know what that word means otherwise. Obedience, guidance, authority, and education. So my past of infinite possibilities being shut down by excessive guidance, my parents obviously. Death, the beginning of my present, means change of course. Wheel of Fortune for opportunity, fate, luck, almost as if these girls chancing into my life is good luck. And the Lovers for the third card of my present. Blimey. So romance, friendship, or other things. Or just relationships in general. So, building new relationships at the swim club. And as for the future, so the Tower, impending disaster, and the girls have got distracted by looking at my old games console. It seems actually they were super into that, in fact. Oh, she's tripped over the controller cord. Don't drop my bloody Arcadian battle station or whatever it was called. My beautiful, beautiful old games console. Those things are quite rare these days. And I've still got, actually the oldest console I've still got hooked up to anything is my Super NES. But I do have one of the old ColecoVisions that, they're beautiful. I had the original Donkey Kong on it. That wasn't even mine. I inherited it from one of my sisters. The ColecoVision, oh, beautiful old console. So many classic games on that. But yes, it would appear she's tripped over the control cord. She better not bloody have broken my console. What the? What the? How did this happen? How did you do this? You're in a school uniform and you fell over. Did you know that hedgehogs actually live quite a long time if kept in captivity, away from predators and so forth? They actually do. They can actually live like 8 to 10 years. If you consider, like, next to other relatively small mammals like hamsters and gerbils, which only last a few years, hedgehogs can actually be very long-lived. In fact, they can survive 5 to 7 years out in the wild, even though there are actual natural predators for them in all the areas that they live in, which is very, very fascinating. I will also point out, by the way, it's rather interesting how, obviously, over to her left, because obviously we're much able now to look over to the left thanks to the hedgehogs, it's clear that this Arcadia, or I'm guessing Acaria, given that's the name of the game there, the Acaria battle station, with what presumably was its launch title, Acaria Hill, appears to come on a disc. She was saying that this console was extremely old and extremely rare. The first kind of main disc-based console, I mean, they were all cartridges, up to the original PlayStation. I mean, that was what, 1995? I refuse to admit that a console part of a generation of not more than 20 years ago could be that spectacularly rare anymore. It just isn't the case. I'm sorry, Gabe, you've messed up there. She should have had a cartridge with her. Now, what possible bloody excuse do we have for the fact that she fell over, all her clothes fell off, and she got herself tangled in, like, how do you, look how the wires have gone multiple times around her. The sliding cords apparently begin to tear open buttons and make her skirt fly up. No, it makes her skirt actually come off, all the way off. This is ridiculous. Mako and I just stand there unsure of what exactly we should do. Clearly, what would you do in this scenario? Absolutely nothing. Oh no, the cables are pulling in Miko as well. No. Interestingly, despite the fact the text is describing how Miko has been drawn into the massive cable and is now stuck writhing on top of Hiromi, mysteriously the game has not come up with a drawing for that, despite the fact you'd really think it would. And that scene just ends. That scene just ends, and I did manage to get them through the cables eventually, by the way. It required me to get a bit hands-on, but I did eventually manage to do it. Excellent. And we never found out what the rest of the tarot card readings were. We just knew that the first card in my future was the Tower. Impending disaster. They're going to murder me. Oh god, I've decided to follow Miko into the girls' changing room with her bag again for some reason. This is not a... No. No, you... This is the second time in a few days you've wandered into the girls' changing room when you know Miko is in there. Would you believe I went round the corner and she was undressed, but nothing of any actual significance happened? I'm genuinely more interested in the mystery than the boobs at this point by a very big margin. But as we're walking out to the front gate, both of them seem apprehensive about something. Possibly the terrifying snake cable monster that tied them both up naked into a bit of a weird lesbian embrace yesterday. That would make sense, yes. Kaede, I wanted to know something. And is something wrong? How are your studies doing? Incredibly poorly. I won't lie, I haven't been doing that well. Why is that? Can't concentrate? Yes, I wonder what could be distracting me, girls. By the way, would you like to come over and writhe naked on top of my old games consoles again? Oh, I'm being dragged over for a study session. And Hiromi can't come because she's visiting her mother. And Miko grabs me by the ear and pulls it towards her. Fiercely, she whispers into it. Don't mention Hiromi's mother, she's sick, I'm guessing. Back off. That isn't any of your business. Okay, we'll learn that later, but clearly Hiromi possibly is sneaking out, not in fact to bury corpses, but I'm guessing there's some sort of tragic backstory involving her mother being sick here. For literally no well-explained reason, she's decided that she's going to take off her skirt and do this study session in her underwear. And she's also going to do it lying on the bed like that. And also, did you know that hedgehogs are actually remarkably solitary creatures? They don't generally form groups, they generally only get together during the mating season, but then they separate. And in fact, indeed, after a female hedgehog has a litter of baby hedgehogs, they actually separate relatively quickly. Within about 10 weeks, the parents will kind of take the little ones foraging and teach them how to forage, and then pretty much soon after that, they'll all go their separate ways. But yes, she's decided, despite the fact that this is the same girl, Miko has spent this entire game basically yelling at me to stop being a pervert and having perverted thoughts. Now she's invited me up to her room and immediately taken her skirt off. For no... This is actually the girl who specifically has yelled at me because she thinks I might be interested in seeing her in her panties. And she decided to go up to her room and just lie on her bed in her panties. For no good reason. There's a problem here, Miko. What? What is that? I can't concentrate particularly. Yes, why are you dressed like that? This is not conducive to concentrating on studies. This is my room and this is how I get comfortable. Alright, fine, whatever. All I'm doing is pointing out what you need to review and you're acting as if I'm distracting you. This girl's either the biggest flirt in the world or she's staggeringly stupid. Oh good, Hiromi's decided to invite me over to study with her instead. Sure, why not, eh? Hiromi's room, I like this a lot more than Miko's, to be honest. There's kind of stuffed animals literally everywhere. It looks kind of very neat and clean and nice. Now just to find out if she's about to take all her clothes off for no well-explained reason. Ah, Hiromi starts to nod in approval as I begin to get through the material fairly quickly. I'm actually learning something from Hiromi. Perfect. Oh god, Hiromi's gone to change out of the room, and would you believe at that exact moment I need to go to the bathroom, and it's so distracting I'm beginning to lose my concentration. I wonder if she's going to be changing in the bathroom and hasn't locked the door, and I'm going to go to the bathroom, and there's going to be hedgehogs. Well, that's another study session completely gone bust. Lovely. Oh, they're looking at each other with a secret signal I'm not aware of. We just wanted to know, Kaede, have you had any girlfriends before? What kind of question is that? No. Why? Apparently not, in fact. Why is that? Aren't you interested in my significantly larger left breast than right breast? Oh, Hiromi, we need to know what we're up against, she says. Oh my goodness, up against? You know, for really, really obvious reasons. No, they've completely given up explaining that. Oh, come on, Kaede. This is not hard to figure out at this point. Just take your pick of the two of them. Just give me a button that says destroy, a button that says control, and we'll be on our way to the ending here. How much time has passed now? The weeks have been flying by this semester, and I'm guessing at the end of the semester we take our pick of the girls and get our ending. And it's no one other than Miko. No, you're the one I don't care about. Boo. Something doesn't seem right. What's wrong, Miko? Could I please come over after school? Yeah, sure, why not? Quietly, we both slip into my apartment. She just stands there, unable to raise her eyes from the ground. What did you want to talk about, Miko? I can hear sniffles escaping from Miko. What happened at the swimming club? I think you should know. I know I was curious about this incident, but now I'm here. I'm not sure. No, I do want to know. Just bloody tell me. It's okay, Miko. What happened at the swimming club? A friend of mine. It's a struggle for her to say anything about it. It was stupid. A stupid accident. But it happened. What happened? We had another friend long before you came. She used to be part of the swimming club. She was always so full of energy. She could barely contain herself. But then... She doesn't want to say it. She was hit by a car. Why was Hiromi telling me never to mention drowning around you if she was hit by a car? Well, the game just pulled a twist on me. Beautiful. Oh, here we go. Okay, she was paralysed, but she tried sneaking into the pool one day and swimming by herself, but she couldn't make it to the end without her legs. She nearly drowned, but she didn't drown. So she didn't even drown. She's just kind of a person you know who clearly shouldn't have tried to swim anyway, and you actually saved them. And she grew to resent the swimming club. Everyone else began to avoid the swimming club. We slowly lost members until it was just the two of... That doesn't even make sense. The swimming club... A girl who was disabled, who clearly shouldn't have been trying to swim unsupervised, tried to swim, got into trouble. A member of the swim club saved her life, and apparently that turned everyone against the swim club. Alright, fine, whatever. And after giving Miko a reassuring hug and sending her on her way, it appears that outside of school, a familiar-looking face is walking towards me alone in the rain, because it's raining in the storm clouds now. It looks like Hiromi. Kaede, why are you here so late? She isn't herself today. Something is wrong. Very wrong. Are you okay? I'm fine. Really, I'm just fine. She doesn't sound like it, though. With the rain pelting down on her, she's going to catch a cold. We need to get you somewhere warm. My apartment, by any flipping chance. And we're getting to the truth of Hiromi now. I told you that I visited my mother. Hiromi struggles to say what comes next. She's in hospital right now. It's cancer. Cancer. Oh, it all makes sense now. She always looks so down every time she arrived late at training. She has a tumour in her breast. If you're going to play the tragic backstory card, maybe don't mention breast cancer specifically in a game that's been shoving breasts in the face of the player this entire game. It's just a bit... It's a bit weird. Unless this entire game was just actually a great big breast cancer awareness drive, and it was trying to encourage people to feel more comfortable with their own breasts. They could feel their own breasts check for lumps, and if you are a female viewer, do get comfortable. Make sure you check your breast for lumps on a regular basis, and my male viewers, make sure that you kind of know what your own testicles feel like so you can check your own testicles for lump, because testicular and breast cancer are some of the most common cancers for men and women respectively. So make sure you do check yourselves on a regular basis. But yes, I find it a little bit odd in this boob game there's suddenly boob cancer. Oh, she's jumped in for the hug. She just wants someone to hold her. Fine. And then probably in a minute she'll go to the bathroom and I'll decide I've left my towel in the bathroom. I'll go in without knocking and she'll be naked again. And with an emotional, dramatic revelation from both girls, they seem to both be on pretty happy terms. They're smiling and happy to see me. Lovely. Uh-oh, we've skipped forward a little bit and the girls are admitting that I am special to them. This is... we both of them look at each other for a moment. Hiromi! What is it? This doesn't seem right to you, does it? You mean... I know you're my friend, but I don't want to give him up. There's a storm on the horizon, I can feel it. Oh no, the girls are going to start fighting for me. Miko, calm down. We're friends, right? Let's talk about this. Or just ask me. Ask me. No. Let's just say something. Probably say something or stay out of it. Say something. Hey, really, you don't... Neither of them are listening. Oh dear. Oh, oh no. Only one of us can date him, you know. Bring in the hedgehogs. Send in the hedgehogs. There's 15 different species around the world, you know. I would date both of you at the same time. Oh, Kaede, I've played Mass Effect 1. Trust me, Ashley doesn't like it. She storms off and you're left with Liara, which is fine because Liara's much better than Ashley. But still, never before have I witnessed a moment of silence as awkward as this. Neither of them can comprehend what I just said. It's pretty simple. I mean, it's blatantly not going to fly, but it's pretty simple. You mean you'd date both of us as a way of determining, right? No, I would date both of you at the same time. I would not pick one over the other. So stupid! Real life isn't a hairy man in there. Well, I didn't actually get a choice. The character just said it out loud. I'm guessing because I agreed to both study sessions or something. How do you possibly think you can date two girls at once? I can only stare at her blankly, she says that. I don't watch anime, so I can't make a comparison. So it would appear I now have to date both of them and then presumably pick at the end. Alright. Well, I'm overhearing a conversation here. I think possibly things are about to... If I'm dating both these girls at the same time, they're discussing possibilities. I see your point. I guess I'm not opposed to the... you are my best friend, after all. Oh, blimey. You're mine too, Mako. Oh. Oh, blimey. Oh, blimey. Oh, blimey. Before I know what happens, they both fall over. Well, that's both of them dead on the concrete floor. Fine. Hedgehogs are actually very well named. I mean, they literally forage inside hedges, and they have a little pig-like snout. Hedgehog. Very, very simply named. Very clear etymology. So it appears the girls have figured out a way to, potentially share me, which is they're just going to form a nice little love triangle there, which is, you know, nice. That's nice and convenient. They are admittedly currently snogging in the chlorine urine water we mentioned earlier, which is a bit weird, but alright. I mean, I should clarify, actually, I haven't actually done anything romantic with either of these girls yet. They're actually kissing each other before they actually kiss me there, which is, I might be about to get cut out of this little triangle here. And we finally made it to what I'm assuming is going to be the grand finale, the long-awaited tournament, the swim tournament, the tournament which I have to place first in if I actually want to stay in this school, because otherwise my father's going to pull me out because of my terrible academic results. Yeah, I cut out that bit of drama. It wasn't desperately interesting. I thought you probably didn't want to hear the long conversation between Kaede and his father there. And the girls set off in the tournament, swimming very well by the looks of it, though, of course, Hiromi is still wearing her bloody collar. And my eyes closed for a minute, waiting for the result. Slowly I open them. They both touch the end of the pool at the exact same moment, which means by the laws of this game, I'm just going to go and have a threesome with both of them, I guess, for some reason, because that seems to be the implication. Oh, they made a bet. What was the bet? Whoever wins the tournament would get to take you on your first date. Oh my goodness, I was right. Yep, by the laws of the bet, it's threesome time. Lovely. And now it's my turn to race. I look on the crowd and I see someone sitting there. A black suit with a distinct crest in it. It's my my dad sent one of his assistants in his place. Alright, good little thing there. Well done game. It wasn't my father, he didn't bother to show up. But I'm gonna have to win. Well, I'm getting the feeling I'm going to, by the way. Slowly I open my eyes, and I'm the only one at the end. I did it! Hooray! I get to stay at the school with the threesome girls. So, my dad's proud of me, I get to stay in town, and I've got 2 girlfriends simultaneously. Excellent. And we skip forward to Christmas, apparently. Let's see how our relationship's been working out. I've finally proven my talent to my dad. The months went by. My studies went fine. I passed my exams. How? You were bloody hopeless. That just all happened off screen. There was no build up towards that. And what's even better is I'm getting closer to these two every day. Miko is moving on from her past a bit more. And I've heard that Hiromi's mother is recovering from surgery. Looks like she's getting better every day. You know, I feel almost cheated the fact that, as far as I can tell, there's no way to end up with just one of them. You just end up with both of them. But alright, fine. And they've arrived with what they claim is some sort of secret Christmas present for me. Oh, close your eyes. What the bloody hell is it going to be? And would you believe they've decided to dress up as sexy Santa? And Miko, who's getting hedgehogged, has indeed just been tied up in ribbons, which is, quite frankly, just a little bit unfair to poor little Miko, quite frankly, that she just has to be tied up in quite tight binding ribbons. Those look practically quite uncomfortable. They're really, really squeezing her in insensitive parts there. That just looks uncomfortable. And as they decide to put on some normal clothes and head out, it's a beautiful Christmas day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it would seem that is the end of Sakura Swim Club. I hope you've enjoyed our Valentine's Day special, the epic story of a boy who moved to town and everyone fell in love with him, and rather than him having to make a choice of who he dated, they decided to become bisexual, snog each other, and end up with him after dressing up as sexy Santa, nothing at all. Hope you remember all those wonderful moments we had, like the time Hiromi fell over and all her clothes fell off for no well-explained reason, or the time I kept walking into the girls' changing room over and over and over for no well-explained reason. All glorious, glorious moments. What a glorious game Sakura Swim Club is. Oh, blimey. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this madness. I hope you've enjoyed this as far as you can, and maybe I'll do another thing like this next Valentine's Day. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been the truly special Sakura Swim Club. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Haha, I'm a genius at time. Oh, okay, this escalated quickly. I'd like to fly your drone. So good about a butterfly in a bucket. What does that tell you about the human condition? Are we the butterfly and is capitalism the bucket? What happens if you go right to the back in time? The very beginning of time. Oh, you literally just burn the universe.